How much do you charge for your painting? $3 for a square inch. The painting is 20 by 30, which is 8 by 12, 96. Multiply, here's your price. Really? Are you selling wallpaper? How much would you actually charge for your art? And I ask this because recently I came across this question on Reddit and somebody was asking, how much would you pay for my art? Showing just a photograph of a painting or drawing. And this made me think that there are actually three approaches to calculate the price for your art. Approach number one is counting hours you spent working on this painting or drawing. And approach number two is calculating the cost of all materials you use. And approach number three is comparing yourself to other artists who are similar to you. Let's look at them a bit closer. Approach number one, calculating hours. Let's say you spend 20 hours on this painting and your hourly rate is so-and-so, so you multiply it and here you go. The price of your painting. Sounds fine. But what if you improved as artists and now you work a bit faster and you make a copy of this painting? Now you spend not 20 hours, but 5 hours with the same hourly rate. Is this painting cheaper now? Approach number two, and my problem with it. Calculating the cost of all materials you use to work on this painting, all brushes, paint, studio rent, electricity, everything. There's a problem. Number one, how do you know how much paint you squeezed out of your tube? And how do you measure it? And how many brushes do you have? How many do you use? Do you charge the buyer for all brushes, even the ones you don't use? And the other problem I have with this approach is that we all know that even with cheap paint, you can create a masterpiece. The most expensive paint and materials, they do not guarantee the quality of the painting. So, and approach number three, finding similar artists that are similar to you on your skill level. When you will find them, you will notice that one charges $50 and the other one is charging $500. So where are you? Are you closer to 50 or to 500? So all these approaches and math and calculations, in general, they have a very wrong assumption as a foundation, because when we ask the question, how much would you pay for my art? We're kind of like assuming that the value of the artwork is not in the meaning, not in the artwork itself, but in the materials and in time, etc., etc. So we're kind of like de-evaluating the meaning of the artwork itself. I know we don't like search for a meaning. We are afraid of meaning. And I know why. Because when we dig deeper, we might see that there is no meaning. There is just bright colors. The meaning is actually everything we're selling. We're not selling just the materials. Let me give you an example. How much would you pay for this lemon? Like 30 cents, 50 cents, €1? Okay. But what if I tell you that this lemon comes from a very beautiful old garden on the Amalfi coast, and this garden is near a very old monastery, and the monks in this monastery cultivated very beautiful lemon trees that are older than many countries in this world. Royal families, even Medici family, came to this garden to pick lemons and bring them back to Florence. How much would you pay for this lemon now? Okay, and what if I tell you that this is actually not a real lemon? This is a ceramic lemon, but not just a ceramic lemon. The ceramic lemon was made in southern France by a very famous artist. His lemons are almost in every home of every celebrity in the world. These lemons are unique. The peel of these lemons has this unique structure, and when you touch it, only you can feel something very special. How much would you pay for this lemon now? You know, so the lemon didn't change, but the story, the context changed. So when we're measuring things and calculating things, we're kind of telling ourselves and everybody else that there is no value of the meaning that's on canvas, but only the value of the object, only the cost of the canvas. So if we stop calculating, what shall we do then? We should do two things first. We should stop calculating and forget it forever. Well, first of all is that when we're calculating and measuring, we are de-evaluating our work. When we're measuring and calculating, we're training ourselves to look at our art as wallpaper. We don't want that. Yeah. So, and instead, what shall we do? We should ask ourselves three questions. Question number one, what does this painting mean? Not to you, not to your family, not to your friends, but to the potential buyer. Because the potential buyer, the customer, they have to have a connection with this story. They have to have a conversation, and there should be a special meaning. You know, I told you about this question I came across on Reddit. how much would you pay for my art? We don't know that artist. I'm not excited about the subject they are painting or drawing. I don't even remember the subject. It's like, coming to the airplane and bringing your chair and asking people on a plane, how much would you pay for this chair? What reaction will you get? Probably nothing. Not because the chair is bad, but, well, first of all, they're not there to shop for furniture. They already have a chair. So if you keep asking, how much would you pay for my art? Think about the chair on the airplane. Question number 2, who am I to this person who is interested in my art? Because, as I said, there should be a connection between the buyer and the painting, but there also should be a connection between the buyer, the customer, and you. They should know at least something about you. If they don't know anything about you, then they probably would either pay less or they wouldn't buy at all. If they know that this painter has studied in Florence and is interested in art history and is crazy about Baroque art and style, talking about myself, or if they can identify with you, you might say, oh, this is ego, this is bragging. I think it's a healthy context, and context is value. Now, the question number 3 that you should ask yourself, what experience am I offering to the potential buyer? It's about that moment when the buyer feels something, when they have an emotion, a feeling, a memory. Think about it like this. You're not selling a piece of furniture. You're not selling a piece of cardboard to cover the hole in the wall. No, you are selling a moment, an experience. I give you an example. Let's say somebody bought your painting and they have it in their apartment. They have guests, and guests enter the house and they stand in front of your painting. They will feel something. Even if they cannot put it in words, they will feel something. I guarantee you. This is the moment the buyer is paying you for. This is the moment you're charging for. This is the experience. And there's one more thing that almost nobody talks about, especially on Reddit. If you tell people a story, if they really understand and feel what they're buying, they will be willing to pay more. The discomfort you might feel when you say, oh, it will be too expensive. This is not the true discomfort. True discomfort is underselling your story. True discomfort is not giving the story at all. So how do you price your art now? Think about experiences, stories, context. You're selling an experience. Yeah, so this is my take on how we should price our art. And please do a good deed and don't let the calculator tell you what your art is worth. I'm Dimitri Ross, a figurative artist in Amsterdam, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.